Let's take a few moments to familiarize ourselves with Photoshop interface. I'll start in Bridge and double click on this image to open it in Photoshop. Now, across the top are menu items and Photoshop groups them together by topic. For example, type, select, filter. Anything related to filter, it's on the top. Now, all the tools are on the left hand side, and when you hover your cursor over a tool, you see a tooltip, which are great little animations that explain how the tool works. However, as you get more advanced, you might not want to see these. Alright, so let's go to Edit, Preference, and Tools. And we can disable the Show Rig tooltip. Just keep the tooltip because it's very useful. If press OK, now if I come here and hover my mouse here, that tooltip that we just kept it enabled is just gonna show the name of the tools that I'm hovering on.
Tip for that tool. However, and then use rich tooltips as the options for that tool. When you select a different tool, the options for that tool are going to appear in the options bar.
When you select an option, when you select a tool, the options for that tool are just gonna appear on the option bar here. Just take a look, and as you see, when I change the tool, the options here are changing as well. In the center, we have the image preview, which we see the image that we are working on. Basically, this is our artboard. At the bottom, we see a bit of information. If I click here, I can change the information based on size of the image, and document dimension is the best because we see the document size actually and the DPI for the image, which is pretty useful for print. There's a lot of panels on the right side and we don't need them, like Learn. Just right click and close tab group. Libraries, again, right click, close tab group. And now we have more space. If I press Z on my keyboard and drag the mouse to the right and left, I can zoom in a bit. And this is the move tool. Sometimes if Photoshop is small, I mean, if I double click here, it's gonna be like this. So by double clicking at the top, I can just see the Photoshop, not other applications. You can also change the color theme of the interface. Press Command and Control K, which is the preference. Now let's go to interface and color theme. I can make it darker or totally white and a bit grayish, and this was the default actually. And here's the cool part. Look at the highlight color, which is basically by default is gray. Sometimes I can't see it properly, which layer I'm really selected. So come to default and put it on blue. Now it's more pop. This is actually what I use most of the time. Here are the cool parts in Photoshop. If I hold down Control Alt Shift and click on these little icons, I can just see some animation here, just like a game. That's all. I mean, it's funny. Photoshop has that. Alright, now let's go back to Photoshop and click OK. And sometimes I want to change the artboard color. Just right click on the right side around the artboard color, and default is this color. You can put it on black, dark gray, and light gray, and even the custom I can make it totally white, and which is good for Instagram and social media that has white background. If I want to put an image to a white background, I basically work on the white artboard. So this was the default, and I'm just going to keep it that way so you guys can change it. One of the cool things in Photoshop that you guys want to learn is Command and Control F. What is it? It's a search bar. You can search anything here. Like if you're looking for oil paint, just type here oil. And you see the oil paint is appearing. It's telling us which is in the filter, stylize, and oil paint. You don't need to go there. Just double click here, or just one click, and this is gonna be appear. And you can add your filter here, anything. Again, Command Control F, and this time type level. You see, this time call brightness. Anything that you're looking for, it's searchable in Photoshop and you can easily find it. And I can press escape or this letter icon here to close that up, or click outside easily. So most of the time, some of the tools in Photoshop doesn't working properly. I mean, if I go back here, I see this, it doesn't work properly. So I come here and right click on this letter icon and reset the tool. Reset tool just resetting just these tools, but reset all tools is resetting all the tools in Photoshop. And then the Photoshop is basically going back to the default factory. Alright, now we get familiar with Photoshop interface. Let's go to the next video to working with multiple documents.